Jambo, how's what's going on? I'm Azania Mkunjana and welcome back to my Thanks so much for staying tuned in to my YT channel. So today we're going to be speaking about my afro, my hair instead, and I guess my relationship with hair and where I am currently. So I've never been a hair person, right? I've just had hair. It's been normal, of course. And I think only in high school was a little bit more cautious of my hair when I was in grade 9, 2019. There was this entire trend of Afro and natural hair, and at the time I had very, very healthy hair, but my hair was relaxed, yes. And then I think before that, for an entire year, I've just been washing and blow drying my hair without any chemicals in it. So it was pretty thick, pretty healthy, but not necessarily an Afro or type 4 if you may, or type 4C if you may. So yes, I had very nice and healthy hair, and then one time I just decided to relax my hair and everything just went south. And from there on, I then cut my hair and I then had a pretty afro. I think I have it here in my pictures. Yeah, I had a pretty afro, a nice, pretty afro. It wasn't very thick, but it was very healthy, right? And when I say thick, I'm just saying that the strands were quite thin, but it still formed an afro and it was quite pretty, if you ask me. And when I got to university, that is in 2023, I had one module. Oh my lord. I was doing Maths 140 and I went to write a test and it went very bad actually, so I went to go and cut my hair. That very same weekend I was supposed to go and do my braids because I had just unplaited my hair, washed it, and then the very same weekend I was supposed to go and do my braids, but I just lost all motivation and I went and I go and I cut my hair. And yeah, ever since then till date I've been cutting my hair. I think I've cut once, twice, 2 times after the first time I cut my hair. After I cut my hair, I started growing back. My hair was an afro and I only maintained it using water and castor oil. And I forgot what the other oil was, but it was water, castor oil, and I would of course put in a spray bottle and I'll just shake it up. So half water and half castor oil and I'll spray that on my hair, and that's how I maintained my hair. It was nice. I didn't have any problems with it. And one time in July, I was like, I'm sick of it. So I cut it all down and I had a buzz cut. It was also it's just scalp, honestly. I had a buzz cut and I didn't dye the hair. And then I spent the entire year with that. And a few months later, I decided to do a pixie, if you may. So I relaxed my hair and got the tones in place, and my scalp, moment of silence for my scalp, a moment of silence for my scalp. Guys, first things first, it was itchy bad because immediately after they relaxed me, like, oh my goodness, they relaxed me so bad, relaxed everything, relaxed the living out of me, and then they didn't apply anything to the scalp. So imagine my scalp is so dry, super dry, so it's dry, it's itchy. I can't even moisturize with anything super wet because the defined hard curls would, I guess, fall apart. So it was a horrible experience. It was itchy, it was dry, and I think they had burnt my scalp, so it makes it even worse. You have patches of burn and it's itchy, so it's just gonna keep on getting worse. And then in the beginning of the year, I decided I'm going to braid my hair. I'm not going to cut because now my hair was uneven. It's short, it's uneven. I don't want to do a pixie again. So I do braids. I get knotless. They last for 3 weeks because they were just slipping out. My hair was short, relaxed, so it was just slipping out. After that, I cut again because I needed the hair to be balanced, right? So I cut my hair and I neglected my hair. Another moment of silence again. I neglected my hair, guys, and I had a horrible patch. Guys, like, yeah, the hair was eating itself away, like from the scalp. I felt it and I was like, damn, why am I bald? I was literally bald and it was 2 spots, and I realized I was manipulating my hair while it was dry. Meaning I would twist the hair, you know the sponge they use for dreadlocks after you have a nice cut? I used to do that, but then I never moisturized my hair. I wake up in the morning and I just get on my business. So my hair never got a chance to be moisturized and be soft using castor oils. So I had a horrible patch and I was just so devastated, and I started wearing head wraps. I think for a good month I was on head wraps because there was nothing I could do with the hair. And then when I got home, that's when I bought the castor oil. I started taking care of the hair again, and it started growing. It was a bit better, actually, if you ask me. And then towards the end of the year, I'm lying. Towards the beginning of the new semester, I then went and I did my braids. And ever since then, I haven't given my hair a break till November. So July, August, and September, I've been in braids. I've been in braids. The first time I got, I think, a straight back, and then I got braids, which lasted me for 2 months. Yeah. I was getting my money's worth, honestly. It was super pricey. I was like, oh, but anyways, I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a choice, rather. And then after that, I then got Snoopy. Some call it cornrows, some call it wig lines. Snoopy, 50 rand. And then till date. And this is how it looks like now. And I think I forgot to mention that the first time I went to do my hair with a straight back after July, my hair was so short, but definitely you could manipulate the hair. But the hairdresser said, no, your hair is too rough. Just blow dry the hair. So I'm really trying to make sure I define my curls again. As you can see from the different sides, it's not super curly, but I'm trying my best to make sure that I don't use any heat because I don't want it to look relaxed as of yet while it's short. I cannot stand relaxed short hair. How do you even do that if you're not doing any pixie? So it's better if it's short than it being normal natural hair. And I think for me, the concept of hair, it just gives you an identity. It just gives you a personality, if I may, depending on what kind of hair you have at the particular time, you feel a little bit different or you act a bit different. And I always think of myself once I'm grown. I want to have long, relaxed hair. I don't want to wear any extensions. I don't want to I just want to have long, relaxed hair. Have you ever watched those Tyler Perry movies? Those black themed from, I guess, the 2000s, if I may. And think of Gab Union. I think she is mixed, but nonetheless, her hair is long, nice and relaxed. The carpet girly, relaxed hair, everything is so sweet. So when I envision my future, I see myself with nice, long, straightened hair, okay? I don't see myself with an afro, and not because I don't like an afro, or I hate being black, but because of representation. I've seen successful, great women with nice, long, straightened hair. So the representation that I've seen has only been like that. And I know it's a bit biased because we see a lot of successful women today with afros, but the ones that I aspire to be because of career, because of space, and just how they take up space wherever they are, usually have some nice, long, straightened hair. And funny enough, those are very much away from reach because they're in the United States. And what about people around you in South Africa? Most of them will wear wigs. Think of Noma Kikaba, businesswoman, intelligent, smart lady who graduated, ufaka amawigi, ufaka makeup, and I just aspire to not look at Connie Ferguson. She could be a prime example, but she always has her hair in braids, So women in South Africa are successful, but most of them don't necessarily embrace their hair. They're always in makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a matter of preference, okay? What I wish to do, what I wish to look like is somebody with no makeup, good skin, glowing skin, long straightened hair, very healthy. It's just the idea that I have and the representation that I've received, I guess, growing up. And now that I look at my country, I'm like, Makona, Baningi, Foots Makona, but they're always in wigs. Look at the lady in farming, the one that you guys really love, the light skinned lady, I forgot her name. I think Owagwa, if I'm not mistaken. I think so, I'm not sure, but she's in farming and she introduced her daughter to farming. She's always in wigs, although rarely in makeup, but she's always in wigs. Nothing is wrong with that, but what I aspire to look like. So I want to work with my hair, make sure it grows as an afro, and later on in life when I'm grown, I want to have it nice and straightened. I think for me that would just be a really great and nice personality. And then once I move from being grown to being 50s, maybe I want to, or maybe even 40s, explore pixies even more. I think even the maintenance, there wouldn't be a problem because I'll be taking care of myself. So that'd be really nice. I think for each and every theme of my life, there's a particular hairstyle that I have, and it represents where I am and what I'm kind of going through. I remember in matric, I always had cornrows all the single time. I never had braids, like mostly braids with extensions because of it's sitting on its own. Well, man's pants, so I couldn't afford. I mean, I guess both monetary wise and I guess with time to invest that much into my looks. That is important having your phone and get right down with it. So I think with each and every single space in your life, the way that you take care of yourself and the way that you take care of yourself resonates with what's going on in your life and what's happening. Just to wrap it up, currently I'm using still water and castor oil for my hair. It works really well. I learned that water is for moisture and the oils are for retaining the moisture. So don't just put oils in your hair when there's nothing to retain. So water and castor oil. And yes, I am willing to explore more shampoos, but I've learned that those that have sulfate are a problem. So that's why I'm only sticking to any kind of antifungal shampoo, whether in the sulfate, mind that, but as long as my scalp is clean, that's what's important to me. Love and light.